Who loves their fried chicken? I know I certainly do. Like, we gotta love the Colonel's Place KFC? Or how about the Lord's Chicken from Chick-fil-A? And the Popeye sandwich literally broke the world. It probably got a little too extreme because people actually killed others over it. In fact, the chicken sandwich craze, the fried chicken sandwich craze got it's getting a lot of hand. Maybe we should tone it down a little bit. So this whole chicken craze probably leaves for a pain in the ass for all poor chickens out there. But I'll be honest, they don't have it bad at all. The Cuccos in Zelda, they have it bad. What are the Cuccos? They are an animal that has shown up in many different Legend of Zelda games. And also probably a word I mispronounced, because I mispronounce pretty much everything from Zelda games. Is it even Cuccos? Because that just sounds pretty wrong. But then again, I kinda like Deku versus Deku. I kinda like calling him Lunk versus Link. I kinda like calling him piece of shit versus the Great Mido. So you know, there's just different ways to say things. But yes, the Cuccos are animals all across the Legend of Zelda games. They pretty much resemble a chicken, and they're used for mostly side quests. Sometimes you can use them for the actual game, but they're pretty much used for side quests. But they got a bit of a problem with them. Let me show you what's up. That's right, if you start beating them up, they're gonna send hundreds of their friends after you to beat the shit out of you and kill you.
Joke's on you, I'm into that shit!
Like, it's pretty vicious, man. So I gotta go back to the start of the video and ask the question, what is up with these Cuccos? What is their beef? Or I guess chicken in this case. Maybe it'd help if we look at the history. The first time the Cuccos show up is in Kakariko Village in A Link to the Past. They're just minding their own business in the town, and of course you can make their days miserable if you go beat them up. Now, Link to the Past has the trick where there is both a light world and the dark world, and there is a pretty distinct difference between the two of them. It might be hard to tell, but if you look closely, you'll notice that one of them looks like it's from hell. There's not a whole lot of use for the Cuccos in this game, and I'll be honest, these guys have a lot of patience compared to other games. Like, you gotta beat them up for a while before they'll start attacking you. But they will come with a furry to make sure that you do not live another second. So after Link to the Past, let's see what other games they are in. Almost all of them. I mean, sure, it might vary a little bit if they're in the game or not, but over half the games have them. This has become quite the staple in the series. And they really are nothing but just kind of something that can be used for side quests. Like, if you think of Ocarina of Time, they have a pretty big side quest with them where you can get an empty bottle from it. Because this lady right here cannot control her chickens. Judging by that face too, I can see why she has trouble getting some cocks in order. You know, it's just a problem some people have. Majora's Mask is a pretty interesting one, because you actually get these guys in order and make them all grow in a matter of seconds by just marching around. It's quite the odd parade you create, all in just to get a mask. Kinda reminds me of old M. Night Shyamalan's latest movie, Old. Oh yeah, M. Night Shyamalan, you gotta stop tinking with the movies, man. We go back to the Sixth Sense days for you, buddy. 20 years ago is a lot better for you, buddy. Another one of these games I do want to highlight is Twilight Princess. They're actually a pretty unique situation in that game, where if you do attack the Cucco, instead of it calling on its buddies to beat the shit out of you, you control it for a bit. You just wall around, fly a little bit. You don't really do anything with it. It's just a neat little Easter egg to put in the game. Yeah, probably after being beaten up for 15 years, they just gave up and accepted Link's gonna slash them. Just let them have a little bit of fun for a bit. But that game's kind of the oddity. In most of these games, if you do decide to start beating up the Cuccos, they will attack you with absolutely no mercy. And there's no doubt these animals have been around quite the block in all the Zelda games. We've already shown you the obnoxious amount of games they are in. They're always just kind of contained to one area too. Occasionally you find them in multiple areas, but typically they're in one spot. Just kind of grazing, living life the as they want to. And then Link comes up and starts beating the crap out of them. And that's probably the answer to our question. Link's just an asshole. I realize this is actually a fairly obvious answer, and there probably was little sense in making a video. Then again, that's just kind of how I roll around here. There's not a whole lot of thought put into these, I just kind of do whatever shit I want. So this fits perfectly into my theme. But yeah, the answer's simple, Link's just an asshole. He's constantly smashing everyone's pots that they work so hard to put around their place. He's basically just creating a nuisance for no reason. And think about it, if you were gonna go up to an animal, maybe even your pet dog, and you're just gonna start wailing the crap out of him, what do you think the dog's gonna do? He's probably gonna bite you back. And can you blame him? He needs to defend himself. And I gotta say, out of all the animals you could beat up, these Cuccos have quite the patience. They're making a fuss, but they're not beating up Link when they have to carry his fat ass around to get to certain objectives. Nah, they would just help him fly over there, then they fly off because they want to get away from this ugly piece of shit. And think too, what would happen if someone comes around and starts killing you? Well, you're probably gonna start fighting back. Yeah, for something serious like a complete different species that came and started beating the crap out of you. I mean, we're probably gonna start a war. Have you not seen any movies against aliens? That's how it goes. So to answer the great mystery as what is up with these Cuccos, Link's an asshole.